Netflix has made headlines by investigating in highbrow dramas that win Oscars. But sometimes you don't want to that. Sometimes you want to just escape increasingly insane world out of into their action movie. Netflix has made a few of their own, but the bulk of the best action film on their service are still Hollywood blockbusters from 90s modern classic to more recent box office hits to films that may have slipped under the radar. From Ridley Scott to Michael Mann, here are the best action movies currently on Netflix. Number 10, 21 Bridges, 2019. Chadwick Boseman left the world way too soon, but he made such an impact in his too brief time on planet Earth. So much so that he's even got a few films that could be called underrated, a category into which this clever little action film definitely falls. The Oscar nominee play a detective who makes a bold move to capture two cop killers. He shut down the all bridges of out of the city of Manhattan. Totally made and well acted, one only wishes Boseman was still around to make more movies like this one. Number 9, Casino Royale, 2006. It's hard to believe that the most famous movie spy in the history ever needed a comeback, but they really happened in when Daniel Craig stepped into 007's shoes and it turned out to be one of the most acclaimed James Bond movies of all time. An origin story for the super spy, Casino Royale introduced new layer to classic character, resulting in an action film that felt like just real stake. This is one of the best modern action movies period, not just in the Bond franchises. Number 8, Collateral, 2004. Tom Cruise gave us one of the most fascinating performances as Weekend's the passenger to of Jimmy Fox LA cab driver on the very fateful night. It turned out and the Weekend is hitman and he need Fox character to drive him on a killing spree in the tense, gorgeously shot thriller from the masterful craftsman Michael Mann. Number 7, Den of Thieves, 2018. As alpha male as movie get, this 2080 assemble action orgy has already grown a pretty loyal cult following, so much so that sequel is currently in the development. Gerard Butler gives one of the best performances in the history of LA Sapphire Department that trying to stop a group of thieves planning to rob the Federal Reserve. With tense style and fun performance from Osha Jackson, George Pablo Escobar to this movie feels like a growing in popularity every year. See why you are for yourself. Number 6, The Dirty Dozen, 1967. Classic action. There aren't a lot of action movies on Netflix made before 1990s. So take this chance to watch the one might have been your father or grandfather favorite. The real draw there is a cast which includes icons like Lee Marvin, Ernest Brownie, Charles Bronson, Jim Brown, George Kennedy, Telly Savalas and Donald Sutherland in the film in set in 1944. Watching American movie icon Mao down Nazis will never get old. Number 5, The Hurt Locker, 2009. The director of Near Dark and Point Break became the first female Oscar winner for the best director for him. That also won Best Picture and stand now as one of the best movies made ever date about the American soldier experience in Iraq. Jeremy Renner stars an explosive expert, the kind of guy who goes in the room that everyone else runs from, and some brings home the trauma of what he sees overseas. As precious one professions as its capture, this movie has not been a fad on it, and it's just as thrilling now as when it was released. Number 4, The Italian Job, 2003. There seemed little reason to remake in 1969 car chase classic, but this version gets the job done through the sheer star power of its cast and the excellent direction of the action scenes. How can you go wrong when you put the stars being like Mark Wahlberg, Charlize Theron and Auntie Norton and Jason Statham behind the wheel of the blockbuster? A massive hit when it was a release, it might be the biggest modern blockbuster of failed to produce a sequel. Number 3, Man in Black, 1997. Forgot the ambitious reboot, this will always be remembered as a trilogy of original film that starred Bill Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. These movies were massive and 3 of them are all on Netflix. It's marathon time. Number 2, Triple Frontier, 2019. One of the most underrated Netflix originals, this early 2019 film was written by Mark Boal and directed by man who Holm Margin Sal. The great ensemble here include Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Charlie Hanman, Greta Hordland and Pedro Pascal in the story of a group of former US soldiers who planned and executed a heist in South America, and this is old-fashioned action movie with a great modern cast. Number 1, Skyfall 2012. The Daniel Craig era of James Bond has come on the close, and so now history has can look back and appreciate his entire run. This is the best film of 5, the centerpiece. Arguably the epic unpacking of the history of 007 is gloriously shot by Roger Deakins and perfectly directed by Sam Mendes. It features a strong villain performance from Javier Bardem and great supporting work from Albert Finney and Judi Dench. Heck, it even has a killer theme song.